Welcome back to Fallout 4. This is your evil twin.
This is Angela. Get me a cigarette!
Cryogenic array. All residents must vacate immediately.
So yes, you've just seen...
My baby! My baby!
You've just seen your baby
My
kidnapped
husband!
and your husband murdered.
Oh, thank God my real boyfriend doesn't look like my Fallout husband!
Come on. There has to be.
Although if he's
Release.
frozen, he could be brought back. Because, he's not dead, not been dead for hours or anything. Yeah, just punch the glass. I don't need my hand bones.
I'm just playing in character.
That's totally what I'd do, but no!
I'll find who did this. And I'll get Sean back. I promise.
He'll live. It's temporary.
So I don't know if you noticed in the top left, it just said wedding ring acquired. Just took your husband's ring.
Oh God.
They've killed everyone.
Why would Vault-Tec do this?
Malfunction in cryopod manual release override.
So the only ones that opened, your pod,
And the husband's pod.
yes.
Release
I'd shut the pod door again because then he's cryogenically frozen and therefore resuscitatable. But
That's a really good point. I don't think the game will give the option to revive your husband. It'd be really funny if at the end of the game they told you, oh yeah, we can bring your husband back, he's frozen, right? And they're like, oh.
no, left the door open.
Life support offline. Premature termination resulting in system failure. So,
Right.
deceased, cause of death, asphyxiation due to life support failure. So,
Everyone's
everyone's
Oh
suffocated.
God!
Yeah. So I guess when those people messed with the pods to get in there to steal the baby, they messed with the systems and it ended up killing everybody.
Wow, so easy to malfunction, resulting in everybody's
Yeah.
death.
That's interesting. With both his pod and your pod, it said that there was a remote override for the opening of the pod.
Oh, so meaning what?
Somebody else
released
opened
me.
it. Yeah, because that's the thing. You got refrozen. It's like they unfroze both you and your husband,
Yeah.
like looking for the baby.
So they want the baby specifically.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're only interested in the baby. They killed him, and then they reactivated the cryogenics and refrozen.
Should never refreeze one's thawed.
Yeah, you might have a bit of brain damage now. So,
Oh dear, not very well at all. What a bitch of a day!
Yeah.
Baby gone, husband dead.
world exploded.
I know, yeah. Oh yeah, and also the
Yeah, the apocalypse. As far as you're concerned, the apocalypse happened 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
representative for service.
So the exit is malfunctioning.
Everything's broken. Everything looks old now. Everything was sparkly and brand new when
Yeah,
got in the vault.
yeah,
Always need a traffic cone.
yeah. It's not a good night if you don't wake up with a traffic cone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Those damn roaches. Useful for sticky situations.
Now this is nice. You can see the contents of containers without having to open them. Yeah, it's a time saver. Don't spend ages opening up filing cabinets just to find out they've got
There's
a mug
nothing.
in them. Yeah, it always told you before if a container was empty, but you had to. But if it wasn't empty, you had to open it up, and then you find out it just had rubbish in it. So this is a computer of a security guard. Vault 111 is designed to test the long-term effects of suspended animation on unaware human subjects. Security staff responsible for maintaining installation integrity and monitoring science staff activity. Under no circumstances are staff allowed to deviate from assigned duties. Insubordination or interference with vault operations are capital offences. Security staff are authorised to use lethal force.
Crikey.
Resident admittance. Upon activation notice from Vault Tech, all personnel are required to report to the entry area and assist with admittance of Vault residents. Security personnel will maintain order and ensure that no personnel or residents attempt to evacuate the Vault. Research staff will be responsible for resident intake and escort each to the designated cryogenic pod. Residents not accounted for in the manifest should be asked to step aside and detained forcefully by security if necessary. Once all residents have been sealed into the preservation chambers, dispose of any detainees. Vault entryway must remain sealed under any circumstances. Yeah, dispose of any detainees.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's all gone a little bit Pete Tong. Seems so good
Yeah.
before.
Members of the research team must daily monitor the vital signs of cryogenically preserved residents. Cardiopulmonary and cognitive activity in particular must be recorded hourly. Life-saving intervention is only permitted if greater than 80% of the resident population has perished while in cryogenic suspension and must not interrupt suspension. Independent research is encouraged and left to overseer discretion.
Wow.
So
over 80%
yeah,
have
exactly.
to die
If people,
before
yeah,
they'll do
if the
anything.
cryogenics weren't working and people were dying, they're not supposed to interfere unless there's only 20% left.
Wow.
Yeah. Security patrols will be carried out on a constant 8-hour rotation. Security priorities include monitoring for signs of intrusion, checking for atmosphere leaks, settling disputes. It's not interesting stuff. Now, due to the nature of Vault 111, personnel will be expected to perform duties outside of their normal qualifications, such as janitorial duties and food preparation. The exact distribution of these roles is left to overseer discretion. Which makes sense, because in other vaults, all the vault dwellers would be doing various tasks.
Yeah.
But in this case, most of the vault dwellers are cryogenically sealed.
Yeah.
So the security team also has to double as the janitorial and maintenance
Cooks and
team.
stuff
Yeah,
like
and
that.
everything, yeah.
Makes sense.
All clear message. Following a nuclear event, Vault Tech will monitor hazards such as radiation levels, enemy invasion, subsequent attacks, and other factors. Once conditions are deemed safe, this terminal will receive an all-clear notice. Upon receiving the all-clear notice, Vault Tech personnel may be evacuated at overseer discretion. Disregard any notices from organisations or individuals not associated with Vault Tech, including government and military. Residents are not to be disrupted or evacuated. Vault Tech will attend to their needs remotely once Vault 111 staff has been evacuated. Mandatory shelter period. Vault 111 is classified as a short-term assignment. Non-resident personnel are expected to carry out research duties and basic maintenance of the vault while awaiting the all-clear signal to evacuate. In the absence of an all-clear message from Vault Tech, the overseer may elect to evacuate staff under a mandatory shelter period of 180 days of containment. Under no circumstance may Vault 111 staff evacuate during this shelter period unless receiving the all-clear message from Vault Tech. So, now you'll recall from Fallout 3 the discovery that Vault 101 was a control vault in an experiment.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, these vaults, they're supposed to be fallout shelters for preserving society, but they were actually all a set of experiments.
Yeah.
So yes, security log here, security guard reporting on the apocalypse happening, saying he's found out that it's all a big experiment. It doesn't feel right, putting people in pods without telling them. Next entry, Christmas Underground. Got together the rest of the security boys and support staff and had a little party. Best gift that got handed out was a fancy lad snack cake that wasn't too stale. None of the scientists came. Overseer wasn't there either. Just don't get them. They're hiding something from us? Another company secret only for the higher-ups? Whatever, just a few more months until the all clear. And the next entry, only a few weeks left in our mandatory shelter period. Everyone's getting stir crazy. Some people even saying the all clear signal is never coming. Can't stay here much longer, that's for sure. It's not just the fact that I've been staring at the same break room and bunk bed for over 6 months. It's the fact that we only have enough food left for another few months, tops. The overseer keeps telling everyone to be patient, focus on work. He's definitely keeping us out of the loop. Something bad is going on, I know it.
Wow.
The main door accessing the vault exit is malfunctioning. Now the only way out is through the overseer's evacuation tunnel. How convenient for him. He has one of his science team watching the door in his office at all times from a little makeshift checkpoint. Got invited to a meeting tonight. Support staffers and security only. Sounds like I'm not the only one with an axe to grind. Last entry. No all clear from Vault Takers coming. We need to leave. We're all about out of food. I almost murdered Stanley for dropping a damn salt cracker on the floor. A handful of us confronted the Overseer about opening up the vault. Never knew a man that small could shout that loud. Now he's locked himself in his office along with the rest of the science staff. He's supposed to hand over any food, weapons and medicine we have by tonight, or there's going to be consequences. Talk to everyone. It's time. One way or another, we're getting out of this vault.
Crikey.
So yeah, it seems it all ended with a rebellion
Yeah.
of the security staff and janitorial staff against the science team. So that's why there's nobody left except the people in the pods.
Looks like longer than 180 days, though.
Hmm.
In the state of the place.
Yeah.
Go on, whack it. Excellent.
Giant roaches? What the hell?
Assuming all these things are useful.
Yes, they actually have made them useful in this game. There will be a use for all the junk, you'll see. Remember, use of the recreational terminal is a privilege. If work performance declines, this privilege will be taken away. Oh, it's a high score list. Play tape. Loading holotape, please wait.
Oh, cool!
Red
How cute
Menace!
is that?
Start game. It's Donkey Kong!
Wow!
It's Fallout themed Donkey Kong.
And it says 2075, but it's like 1975 graphics.
This takes you back, doesn't it?
Yeah. Used to love playing Donkey Kong and Mario Brothers.
Yeah, you know, husband's been murdered, son's been kidnapped.
Let's play video games in a video game.
I'm not very good at Donkey Kong.
I rule at Donkey Kong.
And you can see here are to eject holotape. Red Menace added. So we can now take the Red Menace game with us and play it elsewhere later on. That red roach just got electrocuted.
Which is a sure sign that we might if we...
Walk through that.
Yeah.
Indeed.
This is like killing the rats in Fallout 1.
No, that's alright. Except far less tedious. Indeed, you don't have to kill the rats in Fallout. You can just run by them all. But, you know, you want to kill them
You
to
want to
get
level up,
yeah,
don't
to get
you?
every bit of experience. Yeah.
Oh, was that my blood? Because there was goo and
yeah,
there was blood
yeah,
as well. Oh,
yeah,
it's
so
still
that's
alive!
what
Oh,
no,
my God!
dragging it around. Dragging it around.
Oh, you were dragging it?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's the thing. They've changed the
Oh,
controls.
look. Oh, that's grim.
Yeah. So they've made it
Where is everyone?
so that the grab key is now the same as the use key. You hold down the use key to grab. So I accidentally end up grabbing and dragging things around when I don't mean to. Press left alt to power attack. Hooah! Oh, you.
Oh, I'm being eaten.
Yeah, you notice when get hit, it's actually saying +1 rads. We're actually getting a little bit of radiation from those
That's bad.
radroaches. Yeah. Now, can restore a bit of health by taking a drink.
So how do the controls compare to the last game?
Similar in many respects, with a few odd changes. A few of the keys have been changed for no particular... Oh, there we go, dragging a stim pack around. A few of the controls have been changed for no particular reason, and they've changed some buttons so that they serve multi-purpose, so one button does more than one function, which makes sense on a console controller because you've got less buttons, but it's a bit annoying on a keyboard when, you know, obviously you've got a whole load of buttons in a keyboard,
Yeah.
and it's weird...
Is this all that's
It's
left?
weird that how in the previous PC versions they let you use all those keyboard buttons, but not on this. So,
It's like these people have been dead for years.
yeah, looks it. Return of the 10mm pistol, though it's a slightly different look, quite like the new design.
It's quite cool. It's
Yeah.
heavy.
Yeah. Now, you have no experience with guns.
Me personally.
In
No.
real life, no.
Funny that,
no.
being British.
Yes, indeed, I've
Nice.
practically no experience with
Coming
guns.
back later for you.
Now, here's an interesting thing, a thing called the cryolator, but it is in a master locked case. So, yeah, no way to lockpick that. But here are some bobby pins. in the mirror and used for lockpicking.
I think we just call them hairpins
Yeah.
in England. Yeah.
Hair slides.
Slides are the ones that click. You
Ah,
sort of
okay.
bend them and they click, 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 click.
Right.
Yeah, just hairpins. But yeah, bobby pins in America.
Now here we have the Overseer's terminal, Overseer instructions. The first part is the same as what we already read on the security terminal, but the second paragraph is new. Under no circumstance is suspension to be disrupted. This includes administration of life-saving measures. Your staff is also considered expendable. Insubordination or attempts to evacuate prematurely are capital violations. Unused cryogenic pods are the preferred method for cadaver disposal.
Oh!
Yeah. Now, the cryolator, that interesting gun in the box. I've long dreamed of making cryogenic freezing available in portable on-demand form. Cryolator is my latest attempt. Thankfully, we're in no short supply of the chemicals and components I need to tinker of the prototype. It's a nice way to occupy the time as we wait for the all-clear signal. Operations Protocol Manual, that was the same stuff from the security terminal. Overseer's Log. Preparations. Final staff orientation is complete. All but a few of the residents down in Sanctuary Hills have been enrolled, and several from Concord as well. Vault-Tech supervisors came up this week to do a technical review of me. This vault is ready to open. I can only imagine what wonders our residents will get to witness. The notion of leaping forward in time. I almost wish I could join them and see the promise of our future realised. So the Overseer was quite enthusiastic about the thing. He did think that, the Vault Dwellers, it was an opportunity for
Yeah,
them.
surprise!
Yeah. It's happened. We were lucky that most of the staff were nearby when the early warning came through. We had less notice than expected, but only Nordhagen was missing when you sealed the entrance. Resident mitters went smoothly. Everyone made it, even the family that waited until the last minute. I was worried there'd be more suspicion, but things happened so fast for these people. They must have been too overwhelmed to question the cryogenic pods. Systems malfunction. Strange issue today with Pod C3. Subject appeared to be having heart palpitations. Nothing life-threatening, but unusual. We realised almost too late the pod was malfunctioning. The cryogenic array almost started thawing her out. We're not sure, but I suspect a hiccup in Vault-Tech's remote override systems may have sent an errant signal. We'll have to keep an eye out. I only hope their systems are reliable once we evacuate the staff. So yeah, more about remote systems and remote activation. There's been no all-clear signal yet, even though we're nearing the end of the 100-day mandatory shelter period. Supplies were never intended to last much more than that, and despite my best efforts, people are beginning to question what we're doing down here. If people think we can just leave and the 180 days are up, they're insane. The radioactive exposure would still be potent enough to fry everyone if the vault seals were breached that early. The whole point of the all-clear signal was to receive additional instructions from the main office. I don't know what to do. I can't open the vault. I can't expect our supplies to last forever. Just to keep everything under control until the all-clear.
Oh dear.
Mutiny! Faction led by the security personnel have turned on me, demanding they be allowed to leave the vault. Idiots. I'll not open the door to be radiated to death out there. I'm consolidating the remaining supplies, putting the staff on lockdown. Going to have to start prioritising who deserves what little food we have left. Been too damn generous with the rations. If people don't like it, well, that's fewer mouths to feed.
Oh, nice.
Well, until that, he was seeming quite reasonable. Until talking about who
Everybody-
deserves the
Yeah,
food.
everybody's reasonable until they're starving to death.
Yes, yeah. So, personal evacuation tunnel is now open. Remind all staff to be orderly and follow shutdown protocols before exiting and resealing Vault 111. Please maintain all staff records and research. So that Vault-Tech can check it all out. So,
Who's that then?
I wonder
we
if that
know?
is the Overseer, although the Overseer, before we saw him wearing, the blue Vault suit rather than
Yeah.
lab clothing. But clearly is an actual scientist, though, because he was
Yep.
building that cryolator, so that might be the body of the Overseer.
Another roach.
Yep. Can aim down sights in this one. Couldn't in Fallout 3. That's something they added in Fallout New Vegas. And VATS returns, the Vault-assisted targeting system. Surprisingly, we're able to use it even though we don't have a Pip-Boy yet.
Oh, all that goo. Lucky it just disappears. Oh, it's coming! Ah! Oh.
There we go.
Comedy timing. I love it.
Oh, there's another one,
A rogue! A rogue roach!
And I accidentally pressed the third person button. You'll notice in this,
Ah. Oh wow!
Yeah,
Excellent
cool.
slow-mo.
Yeah. But yeah, also, when you're doing the targeting, time doesn't completely freeze like it did in Fallout 3. Instead, it slows down.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So in Fallout 3, it was very much an I win button. But in this, time is heavily slowed down, but you can't just stay in there forever.
It's like your spider senses.
Yeah, you do still have to act, and also it means while you're targeting, enemies can go behind obstructions, and you can lose your target, your lock. So get a bit of tutorial about sneaking.
Is that roach eating that person?
Yeah. So yeah, it's a sneak attack with a melee weapon. It does 3 times normal damage. And also a new feature, it says pressing the power attack button while holding a gun lets you whack them with your gun.
Oh, useful.
Yeah.
Is anyone alive? Did anyone get out?
So
Why did everyone just die?
well, I think those are all the
The body moved! Normally they're just like ornaments, a part of a scenery. Oh, it moved, that's hard.
yeah, got pushed out the way by the roach.
Everyone's
Dead, Dave.
dead.
I would have bet money you were going to say that.
I'm so predictable. Can't help it.
We're both big Red Dwarf fans.
Massive, yeah.
Another Vault jumpsuit.
Pip-Boy interface required to activate vault door
Oh,
cycling
there's one on the floor
sequence.
attached to that skeleton arm.
That's right.
Nice day.
Oh, is that a thing? Yeah, is that that's handy. Oh no!
Handy.
I keep doing that pun every time.
Every game we do. There's a hand. It's very handy.
Yes. Oh.
What's great is Mr. Handy is actually a thing in this. So.
I can't help it.
Now, what's great is if you use the Pip-Boy app on your phone, it does that exact startup sequence. So yeah, I love how now they're animated characters and animated 3D graphics for the guns and food and everything as well.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And yeah, the quests, they also have little animations, a little animation of you coming out of an ice cube. And a little description. While cryogenically frozen in Vault 111, I awoke just long enough to witness the murder of my husband and the abduction of my infant son. I need to escape Vault 11 and return home so I can begin to make sense of this tragedy. So yes, you can right-click of the mouse to zoom in a bit on the Pip-Boy. Consoles, there'll be an equivalent button.
Assuming then that Angela has just written that into Pip-Boy.
Yes, yeah. So, yeah, got maps, both world map and a local map. As ever, the local map is completely useless. They've had it ever since Fallout 1, and it's always been useless. The local map has always been useless in every Fallout game. I don't know if anybody has ever used the local map for anything, but it's a tradition to put it in. Maybe one person ever manages to use it for something. Now that's cool. You actually pull the thing out and plug it in order to unlock the controls.
Vault door cycling sequence initiated.
So we're now leaving the vault.
Stand back.
Hopefully radiation is now at survivable levels.
Yeah, otherwise game over. So that's probably a pretty crappy day all in all.
Yeah, it's like you were having a pretty fantastic suburban lifestyle.
Yeah, everything was pretty perfect.
Yeah. Then the world got nuked, got turned into a popsicle. Husband got shot, son got kidnapped, and it turns out all the other survivors, they all either suffocated to death in pods, or they ended up getting killed in a mutiny, or they went and escaped the vault a few months after the disaster, and then probably died of radiation poisoning.
So cheery.
Yeah. Still, it's more colourful than previous
I
games.
was literally about to say that.
So yes, we'll save the game here. The game does autosave regularly, but we could do a permanent save because, as is traditional, you get the opportunity to change your character, your appearance, or your stats before you leave. So by putting a save here, you have the option to play again and change your character without reading the knowledge.
Enjoy your return to the service.
Yeah, it's much more colourful.
Thank you for choosing Vault.
Well, then again, this is in the vault. Let's see what the external world is like.
Yeah.
Those reserve spots in Vault 111 had no idea they'd be cryogenically frozen. In fact, almost every vault was actually a secret social experiment conducted by Vault Tech.
Yeah, well, yeah, it
Yeah.
seems to be the case.
If you find out much more about that, the reasoning for that in Fallout 2
It
is
does
part
make
of the
sense
plot
to be
in Fallout 2.
frozen rather than just to live for 50 years in a vault.
Yeah, and then
Makes
you
sense
have
to be
multiple
frozen.
generations.
You don't have to worry about resources
Yeah.
then. Classic radio. Oh. Is it winter or is just everything dead? Kind of looks like late winter, early spring or something.
Yeah. So here we are.
In the wasteland. So
Yeah.
this is
Your
the same
hometown.
town.
That's
that
right,
we
it's your
left.
hometown. Yeah. It's. I think they've done a really good job in. On the one hand, it's.
Oh no, it's all the people that were there a minute ago.
Yeah, it's post-apocalyptic, but they also managed to kind of make it beautiful. I mean, not the corpses, but I mean the wilderness. So yes, you can press that if you want to go back down into the vault. So yes, in Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, all the various empty bottles and that kind of thing, they were just like useful to sell at a store. Molotov cocktail. Yeah, firebombs. Nice. To throw grenades or place mines, equip them in the Pip-Boy, then hold and release left alt. Yeah, that's one of my criticisms. Your power attack button is also your grenade button.
Ah.
So you can try to do a melee attack, and
accidentally
because
throw
you
a
hold the
grenade.
button too long, instead you throw a grenade. Or vice versa, want to throw a grenade and not hold it long enough, and instead just,
Punch.
yeah, well, try to, just wave your gun around trying to hit them with it. I think the whole accidentally throwing a grenade is rather more problematic.
I think so too.
Yeah. But in this, there's actual use for all these items. We'll actually be able to break them down and use them for useful materials for other things. So they know that people that play these games, they have a compulsion to like literally pick up absolutely everything.
Yeah.
So there's now an actual purpose to do so.
If it's pick-upable, then it must be useful for something. It's me!
Yes!
Looks like your evil twin from a previous game has been here, skeletonizing everything.
Oh, I know you like to pick berries and fruit.
Yes,
So thought I'd do a bit of role-playing there and pick some beans.
Seriously.
Yeah, harvest some hobflowers.
Yeah?
No idea if they have any use whatsoever. Well, I suppose you can eat them and they'll give you a tiny bit of health. Fallout New Vegas had an optional hardcore mode where you needed to eat and drink to survive. It didn't just restore health, you actually had hunger and thirst and you got tired and you needed to sleep. And,
Yeah.
but they haven't brought that back. for
Wow,
this.
look at that.
Yeah, it's good water graphics.
Wow.
Also, warning,
Oh,
drinking
what's this?
water restores health, but drinking unpurified water causes radiation damage.
Yeah, look at these plants.
That's
See?
bloodleaf, yep.
Blood leaf.
Now, back in Fallout 3, if you were to walk in a river like this, you would get radiation damage from just walking in it. But in this, no, it's not that radioactive. It's safe enough to walk in it. It's just a bad idea to actually drink it. I'm going to say bad idea. You get a little bit of radiation, but not enough to actually, be really hazardous. Yeah, sprinting is new to this game. Uses your action points, the same thing you use for your vaults targeting. And here we are, home sweet home. Turn to Sanctuary Hills.
Wow, so we're going to go and check out the old house then.
Yeah, that's right. That's what we'll be doing next time. Thanks for watching.
Don't get me started about the futility of dusting a collapsed house. And the car! How do you polish rust?
Oh, God,
Yeah.
I feel his pain. Yeah, he's got a reason
Yes!
to be depressed. What? What?
He has a flamethrower and a buzzsaw.
Whoa.
Yeah. Sea captain's hat. Yes!
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah!
Oh,
Striking
yeah.
a pose!
What are you doing out here all by yourself?
Timmy stuck down the well?